Good morning, guys. How's it going? Magooch, Daniel Berry, good to see you guys. Happy Sunday. I don't know why I'm going live so early, but I'm just kind of waking up. But I'm off today, so I figure I'd come on here for a little bit. And there's not a whole lot going on the news too much. I didn't really have a chance to look at it, but I figure we just kind of go through it together while I'm on here. I never really followed the January 6th fake. I don't even know what January 6th was about. They were protesting the fucking rigged election or something. And a dude with makeup and horns on his head stormed the Capitol. And apparently there was somebody that was killed, or more than one person was killed. I never even knew what the fuck happened at January 6th because I never really believed that it was nothing. I thought it was just propaganda from the start. But apparently there was a huge cover up. It says that there was a pipe bomber. Apparently, the J6 pipe bomber has been identified as a female federal agent, per the groundbreaking investigation conducted by journalist Steve Baker. And the thing is that I guess this big scandal that's brewing is that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino covered up what Trump should have known about a long time ago, and then he still doesn't know about, apparently. So we'll see.
Lest anyone think that you and I are sitting here celebrating that. Like, we're just looking at the pragmatic approach. We're going to find out one thing, and this is actually the only thing we're going to find out, Alex, because I don't know the answer to this. We're going to find out what kind of country we are. I think we're going to find out, let's call it in the next 96 hours, we're going to decide where Americans are going to be able to see whether we're a country that says you cannot execute like an Operation Valkyrie against our government and our people and Americans who want to protest. And maybe some people had a riot and they should have probably, gone to jail for property damage for a couple of months or got community service. We're either that kind of country where we're going to destroy the agencies that did this, or we're going to be the kind of agencies that say it was really isolated. It was one person. That person happened to just overdose on pills this weekend. And then that's it.
Well, look what they did with Charlie Kirk. That's another scandal in itself. So to think that the government isn't straight up, they're not just lying to us anymore. They are trying to kill us. They hate us, and they're going to corral us into these AI bullpens one way or another, whether we go in there dead or alive. That's what they're trying to do, and they're doing a damn good job of it. So I don't have any room in my brain for January 6th. I honestly, I don't even want to have a discussion about your rights. Like everybody has the right to protest or whatever. Going to the Capitol building like that with a whole bunch of people is not a good idea under any circumstances. I'm surprised that they even made it inside the building. It had to have been a setup. I think like if I got a group of people together and decided to storm the Capitol building, I'm not going to make it. I don't think I'm going to make it into the Capitol building on any day, no matter what the situation is. I just don't, I could have tried to go there on January 5th or January 7th, and I don't think I would have got in. I think that's just, I think it was a staged event. Co-Train, good morning. But that's what's going to be on the news. It's going to be that Kash Patel, and I have another video of it, covered up some information about January 6th. So we shall see. Not sure why I bookmarked this lady. I don't know. These are my bookmarks. That's why. All right. Let's see what this is. U.S. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt just dropped a bomb. Something about Gavin Newsom being prosecuted.
Review by whom and why? And also, in this vein, does the White House still plan to issue an executive order banning mail-in voting, and what legal authority do you have to do that?
The White House is working on an executive order to strengthen our elections in this country and to ensure that there cannot be blatant fraud, as we've seen in California with their universal mail-in voting system. It's absolutely true that there's fraud in California's elections. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. They have a universal mail-in voting system, which we know is ripe for fraud. And if you want to deny that, I'm happy to provide you all of the evidence for it. I'd be glad to send that to you after this briefing.
Rigged.
Fraudulent ballots that are being mailed in the names of other people, in the names of illegal aliens who shouldn't be voting in American elections. There's countless examples, and we'd be happy to provide them. As for executive action the White House is taking, yes, we are looking into that. And like any executive order, of course, any executive order the president signs is within his full executive authority and within the confines of the law.
So, I mean, that's a big no shit, right? I mean, who didn't know that? Elections are being rigged everywhere, you know? Is there any place where elections are not being rigged? Are we to think that that these people, you know, have their states where elections aren't being rigged and they allow it to be rigged in others? It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like the whole system is rigged. Sweet Tea, good morning. You're headed home from your from an overnight soon. I'll catch up later. Hope everyone has a great day. Thank you, Sweet Tea. You are one hard worker, that's for sure. You work more than I do. I would be going out today to sell, but the only place I really have to go today is my normal spot in Auburn by the casino, and it's tore up. Like literally, where I set my tent up at, the city came through and dug it up. There's like, and it's all fucked up. Even the Mexican guy can't set up there. So I was thinking I could set up in the parking lot, kind of, which I could, or underneath the building, but they have some like Somalian church upstairs on Sundays, and they fill up that parking lot. So I don't even want to deal with it. So I'm gonna go out tomorrow back to the admin building and do a Monday instead of Sunday. But I did pretty good this week with my my pies. I think I came home with one cheesecake on Friday and none yesterday. I sold out with the quickness yesterday. I was out at that little country market in Enumclaw. They had a barbecue truck out there, and when I got out there, there was already a line of people, and that guy didn't even open for like an hour, and he already had a line of people. And I had a brisket with waffle fries, and their barbecue sauce is like a yellow mustard look. Oh my God, it was good. I could see why they had a line of people. So I did a little extra good, I think, because he had so many people out there. But yeah, I sold out. I think I brought 20 cheesecakes with me yesterday, and they were all gone. So, and the people that I know that do that have a cheesecake business out here, apparently they're having problems, like from the floor up, like business problems, relationship problems, all kinds of problems. And I don't wish bad. You know, they're my friends. I don't wish bad upon them. But they stocked the store that I was selling it in front of yesterday. And the lady that owns the store says she hasn't heard from them. She's like, normally she at least hears from them, you know, if they're not going to stock her store, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But she says this time she's not even heard a word. So just kind of made me think. And then apparently the dude brought the brother in because he's not the guy, you know, it's a husband and wife that do the cheesecake thing. And apparently the brother came in from the husband's side, and now he's trying to fuck everything up. And the wife's pissed off. Feel bad for him. It is what it is. That's why I stay small. I just try to stay my one man little operation, not get too big right now, because I could just see myself falling in that same trap. You know, have my woman not happy, and yeah, I just Pete Hegseth. What's he talking about?
This is a 1939 moment, or hopefully a 1981 moment, a moment of mounting urgency. Enemies gather, threats grow, you feel it, I feel it. If we are going to prevent and avoid war, which is what we all want, we must prepare now. This is a
So he's all about war. Hold on, I'm going to ask ChatGPT something real quick. Okay, I was wondering, because he said the word Zionist, which I do not like. I don't even know what Zionist means, but I fucking can't stand that word. Osada Treats will supply that shit from that. Yeah, exactly, Coach Train. I did too. I'm excited about my cheesecakes. In fact, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Again, is just restocking my supply. I still got maybe, I don't know, 40 or 50 cheesecakes in my freezer, but I need to really stock up. What's up, Bambi? Good morning. So Pete, the only thing I really like Pete Hegseth. I do. I mean, he changed the name of like Fort Liberty back to Fort Bragg. No more dudes in dresses. Do a physical, training exam twice a year. You got to stay fit if you're going to be in the military, type of thing. I like all that. What I don't like is that word Zionist. Yeah, he does, or Candace does use that word a lot. Supporters of Zionism, which is a national political movement for the creation and protection of a Jewish homeland in Israel. Exactly. And they are fanatics. And I looked it up. He's not a Jewish Zionist, is what they always say. He is a Christian Zionist. So he supports, he is not Jewish. He is a Zionist from a Christian evangelical viewpoint. He supports the Jewish homeland in Israel. Okay. So he's not Jewish. He's a Christian, but it's a second. It's just as bad. It's just as bad. Instead of him thinking that, he thinks that Jesus is the Messiah, and the people in Israel, they don't. And, they want to kill people that do. So I don't know how that dynamic works, but he supports Israel, which I don't like. I mean, obviously Israel's our ally, but I think you guys know which road I'm trying to go down with that. This, like Bambi said, that fanatic warmongering, let's fucking shoot people in the neck. Those people need to get out of our country. That's what I'm trying to say. On her last show, she mentioned a book to read to learn everything about Zionism. Right. That last, I didn't watch all of the last episode, but I watched the first half of it. It was really good. There's a great documentary called The Zeitgeist. And I don't know if that word zeitgeist has anything to do with Zionism, because it's Z-I-E for zeitgeist, and this is Z-I-O. Probably not. That was if anybody's never seen Zeitgeist, the first one, I highly recommend it. It's 3 parts. The first part, the religion part, I'm not really into all that. But the other 2 parts about the Federal Reserve and 9/11, oh fuck, man, that shit is gold. absolute gold if you want to know about the money system, how it got started and turned into a central banking system, and like the Gold Seizure Act of 1936 took away everybody's gold. The secret meeting on Jekyll Island, all that. And then 9/11, the best breakdown of the 9/11, conspiracy that I've ever seen. Not just conspiracy, just straight facts. So, there's no such thing. The whole Zionist thing came about for Israel. No such thing as a Christian. Yeah, that's what it's such a weird thing, right, man? Because I agree. I think that's just our government has been, I don't understand exactly what happened, but this is, even Biden's fucking camp didn't talk about Israel like this. I don't know. The 9/11 stuff, like how the owners bought 3 insurance. Yeah, that's was Larry Silverstein, and he is a Jewish Zionist, obviously. And now, see, I still know nothing, but I know I have a lot better understanding just over the last 2 months of what runs our country now in the media and all that kind of stuff, the comedians, the party, all that, than I did. But I always knew 9/11 was an inside job. I just didn't realize, I always thought it was like Saudi Arabia. I didn't realize, and they're all in it together, for sure. They all are. There are no enemies of the state, It's all kabuki theater. At the top of the food chain, those guys are, rubbing elbows for sure. I'm not a fan of Israel. I think their government is evil. They are. And, the people of Israel are not bad. I don't know anything about Israel either. But, I keep hearing that the house of the Rothschilds are the ones that created Israel. And they're the ones that still run everything. It's like everything comes from them. And they are the satanic pedophilic death cult, non-human lizard people, whatever, like every rabbit hole leads to the Rothschilds, right? So they pay millions so they can go around doing whatever they want. Yeah, and it's the weird thing is that we woke up one day and we just started being told that Israel has the best technology in the world. Like what? Wait a minute. What about China? What about the United States? Now all of a sudden, Benjamin Netanyahu is saying that, we have the best weapons. Our weapons are so good you wouldn't even know. You have no idea what type of weapons we have, and we shared them with the United States. When he sat down across from Ben Shapiro, Slim, it's going down. So it's just very interesting, it wouldn't even be as big of a deal. I mean, it's a huge deal, and it literally, it doesn't keep me up at night, but it fucking makes me pissed off in the morning. I'll tell you that, as you guys know. But what makes it even a bigger deal is the fact that now we have such a Muslim movement in this country. And, how could you not be worried? Because Israel has killed people in 7 countries, at least 7 countries. Well, 8 if you include Charlie Kirk in the United States. In just the last, how long? They kill everybody. They don't just eliminate their threat. They'll shove hot rods of coal up your ass. They'll pour gasoline down your throat and light you on fire. They'll rape you. They are fucking sick motherfuckers, man. That's some sick shit. The stories that are coming and videos that come out of there are just horrific. And then they sit there and say, oh my God, on October 7th, our people, 6 people were taken hostage. And so therefore we had to kill 67,000 of you guys. And by the way, aren't Palestinians Christians? So, Trump talks about the killing of Christians in Africa, but what about the ones right on the, doorstep of his Riviera? I don't know. Remember what happened to Japan? That's right. We're number one. Yeah, exactly. You know, and we got to stay number one. And, you know, so it just doesn't make any sense that, you know, the elected officials, the people that we, the people, are the one in power. So if we don't want Israel in our government, they shouldn't be in our government, you know? And I guess that's, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, guys. Look, we got Mom Domney. You know, so I'm saying, like, you know, you don't want Israel in your government. That's the guy to vote for. Am I saying that's the guy to vote for? Hell no, that's not the guy to vote for. We don't want that motherfucker around. Go back. Get on your fucking camel and get out of here, buddy. And I like those people. I just don't like them coming over here and running our government and coming over millions. I have nothing against Pakistani, Punjabis, Indians, Sri Lankans. I mean, it don't matter. If you think about it, they are the terror. Yeah, they are the terrorists. 100%. Thindu, good morning. Good to see you. It's all about the money. It's about the money and it's about the control for sure. All right, let's see here. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. This will get us all fucking worked up right here. Okay.
And don't you feel it, Mr. President, with all of that revenue coming in tens of billions of dollars, do you think there's the possibility of a rebate to the American public in terms of all of that money? We're thinking about that, actually. We have so much money coming in. We're thinking about a little rebate, but the big thing we want to do is pay down debt. But we're thinking about a rebate. That's a very good question. You just made a lot of news. We're thinking about a rebate because we have so much money coming in from tariffs that.
Now that video is old. It's been around for I don't know how long, for a little while. You know, more than a month. We have so much money coming in that, you know, we want to give a little rebate. Well, do we really want to give a rebate? Do we really? What is a rebate? Is it an EBT card in disguise? I mean, yeah, of course, we could all use some money. I get it. Fuck them all. Exactly, Magooch. I'm honored to be with you on this Sunday. Well, thank you, Bambi. And back at you. I'm honored that you're here. Bambooski. The only time we had, like my theme do, Now I'm drawing a blank, but I had a whole theme do impersonation lined out. It's our money, yeah. The only time we had zero debt was with Clinton. You know, I have to agree. That was, you know, even though Clinton was probably one of the biggest dummies when it comes to falling for like the honeypot thing with Lewinsky, and he's definitely a pedophile, and he's definitely one of the largest drug dealers in the country, you know, and him and his wife are definitely responsible for about 39 people dying on airplanes and airplane crashes. And they're definitely part of the satanic death cult. But our economy was good back then. You're right. I'm not going to lie. It was. We did have zero debt. You know, that was like, you know, like 92 to like 96. Shit. I remember those 4 years because I was working in a game called Speed Bingo. I dropped out of college and I got in the gaming industry. And I was fucking killing it. I was 18 years old, and you know, from like 18 to 22, fuck man, I made a shit ton of money. I thought I was the shit when I first turned 21, and I thought I was it. I was making more money than doctors and lawyers, and this is what I told people in my little gambling speed bingo game. I thought I was the shit. And then the casinos came, Once the casinos opened up, then it became shitty at the game that I worked at, and it just all fell apart from there. But before the casinos came, and then we had games like speed bingo at the bingo halls. Oh my God! I started work at 9:30 p.m. We wouldn't get off work till like 7 o'clock in the morning. It was all night long. We made fucking killer money, but we worked for it. But I'll never forget. I went to half of my family's Japanese. I went to Chinatown. My uncle was a barber. He owned a barber shop in Chinatown, San Francisco. And I went there. It was what year was that? 1993. And I remember like I said, I thought I was the shit. And I remember him telling me, he's like, man, you need to go back to school. He's like, you're too smart. He's like, you need to use that noodle of yours. He's like, stay out of the fucking casino bingo shit. And I was highly offended by that. But he was fucking right. I should have fucking listened to him right then and there. I should have stopped right on the sidewalk and said, what are you trying to tell me? But then again, what am I going to do? Go back to school for what? What would I went back to school for? Probably fucking would have dropped out again. So you were in the 9th grade. But as far as the I remember getting, I filled out the fucking stimulus the last time he did that. And when I first started my business, I was on unemployment in 2020 because I got fired from my bartending job because of COVID. We all had to quit, or whatever. And we all got on the fucking unemployment thing. So I was getting unemployment, as were a lot of people. And then, they had the stimulus come through once or twice or 3 times. I don't remember how many we got. I think we got at least 2 stimulus, right? So, the only thing that I sold in the beginning basically was chocolate strawberries and maybe chocolate pretzel rods. And I would sell, like 30, 40 dozen chocolate strawberries at a time when I first started some weekends, because everybody was buying them. Everybody had that disposable income, just that they're just, now not everybody's broke because they don't get it. So I don't know what I'm trying to say. I would rather see them take that money and fucking create an industry for Americans to thrive in. Like we were talking about this last night. The construction industry, like one of my buddies was saying, like his daughter, he would tell his daughter to get a trade or something like that. I can't remember exactly why he was saying that, but to become an electrician. And then I was telling him about Thindu and how Thindu was saying that in Buffalo that shit, they might have to go out of state to fucking find workers because nobody wants to work. So, they need to take that money and fix the education system. And then, for the kids to actually have a proper education. We don't need Bill Gates and AI and all that bullshit. We just need good teachers that aren't woke and teach about fucking cutting your dick off and shit in school. And after that, we need to create an industry for people to be able to work in, that it doesn't require some type of, techie master's degree, because we can have a tech industry, but we need an actual like industrial industry for people to thrive in. You know what I mean? So blessed all day. Right on, Slim. I don't know. You want to give us a little money? Fine. But does anybody not think that if let's say that we get like $600, $1,400, something like that, are we not to think that 80% of that money is being stolen? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think. The second that they're going to give away money to us, they're just stealing our money. That's what I think. Like there's going to be people are going to somehow exploit it, whether it be, on a government level or just you know, because when they did unemployment, I remember here in Washington State, they came out on the news and said that a bunch of Nigerians did a scam and stole umpteen millions of dollars out of our unemployment system, and then they had to shut it down for a minute. Some bullshit. So I don't know. Yeah, that just kind of came across my feed. This is the Canadian Police. I was muted. Let's see here. They make people believe that building a casino is putting 5 to 10,000 people to work, and meanwhile they're breaking 50,000 families gambling. Damn, that's such a true statement, Magooch. I mean, it's been played out time and time again. We know this now. You're right. Donna's doing it. Good morning, first time here. Thank you for coming. Good to see you. I do a lot of ranting on this channel. I appreciate you coming. Yeah, no, for sure. The casino industry is just absolutely disgusting in this country. You look at all of the gambling scandals that are coming out right now with the UFC, and then there's the basketball. There's been the poker scandals. I don't know which system is more broken, gambling or the government. They're both fucked. They're both cracked down to the core. It's disgusting, and it's going to get worse. The online gambling is just really kind of, it hasn't even begun yet, because it's not, they haven't, not all the states have, like Washington State here is pretty much the last state, and it will be the last state to fall in line, because we got 29 Native American tribes here, and they all each have 2 casinos, most of them. So they have deals with the government. And there was actually one guy from these little mini casinos from Maverick Gaming. He tried to sue the tribes in order to get sports betting in his casinos, and he lost. So, and the way it works here in Washington is it's a sports bet. You can do it online, but you have to be inside the casino to use the app, because they use the geofencing. So, but everybody's gambling now. You can't go on any podcast without hearing about a sports, them push some sports gambling. And it's all, it's all completely it's degeneracy. I highly don't recommend doing it online. Black Hack Music, good to see you again. Good morning. Thank you for stopping by. But it's coming. And like I think with the new GTA 6 video game that's coming out, whenever that comes out next year, that the casino in that game is going to have like real-time gambling options this time. Just my theory. And so these kids are going to be gambling while they're gaming, which is going to be, I think that's the end game, is to get, these kids are going to, they already have gambling on, like, I don't know anything about these games. I don't play video games, but Roblox, when you have kids or grandkids that play Roblox, apparently that is, gambling for little kids. not to mention pedophiles and everybody else can go on there and talk to your kids. But I don't know how it's gambling, but apparently that they've actually made it to where it's gambling for little kids. You're just waking up here, right on. Good morning. Hope you're having coffee. Get them while they're young, exactly. And that's what they're doing, because with digital currency, it's never been so much easier. And then if they go to these cryptocurrencies, which I know less than nothing about cryptocurrency. I don't know how a blockchain works. I don't know what a Satoshi is. I don't know how to, I don't know any of it. I don't know how to get a wallet to put your money in. I know nothing about Ethereum or Dogecoin. I know nothing. Nothing. But they're going to take everybody's basic understanding of, our money system, dollars and cents, and bust it up into a trillion pieces into these cryptocurrencies. And then when you're betting crypto amounts on a slot machine, you're not necessarily going to have the bandwidth to gauge, what you're losing or even what you stand to gain. But the addiction will still be there, and the addiction properties of a slot machine, they spare no expense to research gambling, and it's highly addictive. Slot machines is, what is it? Opportunity of reward, unpredictability of outcome, and repeatability. So you walk by a slot machine, there's an opportunity to win something. There's an unpredictable reward, and it's very repeatable. Just press that button again. If you don't win, it's not a problem, because all you have to do is press the button again. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. You can get yourself into a rhythm like your heartbeat. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Very, very destructive. But I'm not going to lie. I'll go play a slot once in a blue moon. I went, 2 or 3 weeks ago with my buddy Rich and lost a little bit of money like a dumbass. But it was fun for the 2 hours that we were there. But yeah, try to stay away from gambling, please. So yeah, here's the Canadian police dancing like and wearing turbans. And I don't know if that guy, I believe these guys are Hindu. I don't know if they're Muslim or if that even matters. It's the York Regional Police. I'm going to say they're Indian, but just my opinion, usually when they do like some stupid choreographed dance like that, there's like real fucking bad shit on the way. You know what I mean? Like they'll make themselves look stupid, but then it's just, who knows? I go to the casino once in a blue moon. Yeah, everybody does once in a blue moon, right? Yeah, for sure. But the casino experience is not what it used to be either. Like even Vegas, I've been there a million times. I don't go anymore. Too expensive. And there's just nothing there. The entertainment sucks. The food sucks. The people suck. Even though I smoke marijuana, I cannot stand people smoking marijuana. People do not know how to act these days. Nobody wants to smell your weed when they're about to walk into the casino, because most of those people smoke the worst, cheapest type of shit, and then they roll it up in the worst, cheapest type of shit. Oh my God, don't get me started on that. It's weird when they do. Yeah, it is weird. and you gotta get worried. Well, at least this is Canada, and Canada has problems. I got a lot of friends that are First Nations, like the Native American people from Canada, and they say that their cities are unrecognizable. That they look like they're Indian countries now. They literally in Canada, west parts of Canada. I saw your post yesterday about this channel, so here I am. Well, thank you, Black Hat Music. I appreciate that. Let's see here. What else do we got? Okay, I'll just play a couple. This is back to the J6 thing again about the cover-up of January 6th. So let's play 30 seconds of this.
Think about this. The January 6th pipe bomber case. Kash Patel could have put this all into Biden's lap. They could have pinned it all on Biden. Biden was the legendary cover-up. Chris Wray taking them all down. Everybody that was hunting down Trump, everybody that was going after Trump, they all would have went down in the J6 case. But Kash and Bongino fucking covered it up. That's insane. This is going to be such a big fucking scandal. I don't even know how to understate it. It says U.S. pardon attorney and director of the DOJ Weaponization Working Group Administration has determined the identity of the January 6th pipe bomber. Sharuni Kirkhoff is a former D.C. Capitol Police.
So no surprise that they cover things up. I mean, they literally covered up the front yard of the Pentagon when that plane or missile or whatever it was crashed into it. I mean, they literally cover things up all the time. Look at how they've covered up the Charlie Kirk thing. Not cover up, but for Charlie Kirk, they just straight up fucking lying through their teeth. I can't wait to see the fucking evidence that they present, if they even show it to us in this case. Such fucking bullshit. What else we got? So this is the Cowichan River, and I'm not sure. This is the Cowichan tribe. I don't know if this is America or Canada, but they're getting busted with some illegal dump site.
From the air, the scale of the dump is extraordinary. Provincial documents say there are 290,000 cubic meters of waste here, about 40% of it construction and demolition waste, as well as contaminated soil. Worrisome pollutants, they say, include heavy metals, asbestos, and lead paint. And despite years of operation, the Ministry of Environment says no permit has ever been issued for the site. From the
So that ain't good, Osada, you ever see the channel Statecraft? Some very interesting theories. No. Look it up real quick. I just subscribed to it, Co-Train. I'll check it out. I live in the heart of the Cherokee Nation. Okay. Yeah, up here in Washington State, we have 29 tribes, and I do the majority of my sales come from the tribes. Well, maybe I would say maybe it's 50-50, but I do a lot of business with the tribes. So I have a lot of Native American friends, good people. We definitely don't agree politically. So I keep my politics off of Facebook because that's where I do all my advertising for my business. And then then that's why I don't really advertise my business at all on YouTube, because this is where I like to discuss my political views. There's the link to that channel. Okay, awesome. Right on. Anybody wants to check that out? What do we got here? New York, Zoran Momdomny is riding a bike in New York. So let's look at this.
Communist! 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 Communist!
actually a socialist. You should know.
So, you know, I don't call for violence at all. And I'm not saying violent, but he should not be riding a bike on the streets of New York like that. Especially right now. He's going to get clipped. He better be careful. Someone's going to come up behind him and pull a Luigi Mangione right on his ass. He's got a lot of people pissed off right now. I would not be riding a bike publicly if I were you, buddy. You got some fucking big balls to be doing that shit. Again, I'm not calling for violence. I'm just saying, if there's anybody in the country that has a chance of getting clipped riding a bike in New York City right now, it's that motherfucker. And it ain't like it ain't happened before. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of tribes. You know, it's cool is looking at the Native American map. I always like looking at those maps of like where all the tribes were and are located. It just gives you a whole nother perspective of, you know, this country. I was about to say the United States, but we are definitely not the United States of America anymore. Not unless people start waking up. So I don't know if you guys know about this, but apparently there's something called the Schofield Bible that the Rothschilds had put out into the public. Listen to this.
Know about the Schofield Bible? Oh boy, here's a rabbit hole for you. Here's a rabbit hole for all of us. In the early 1900s, right around when the Federal Reserve was founded and the Balfour Declaration happened, right at that exact same time, the Rothschild family hired this dude, this pastor in the Deep South. He made a new version of the Bible called the Schofield Bible. He wrote this new Bible that has all these new interpretations of the text. So they didn't change.
Jewish influence.
Yes, literally. That's where Judeo-Christianity kind of came from. And the idea that Israel is this modern Israel thing is the Israel of the Bible. It came from that Bible. And the Schofield Bible was funded by the Rothschild family. And then it was pushed because they owned the publisher that publishes like all the books. I think it was Oxford Press. And so they had the deals that they could make to get that Bible into all the mega churches across whole denominations of Christianity. And so that was when Christianity got kind of Jewified.
The Schofield Reference Bible was...
That's crazy. See, I didn't know that, but that makes total sense now. And so I kind of see how we've been duped the whole fucking time. CG2, good morning. Good to see you. I have Native American in me. I'm like 3% shy of getting casino royalties. One of my uncles did a family tree about 10 years ago. Right on. And I do as well. Yeah, a lot of people do, especially around here, have Native American in them. I personally, you know, because I have a, you know, my dad, my real dad actually is Native American. And I could, he's a registered, I could have done it. I didn't find out who he was till I was 21. And I was going to do it. I had somebody get me the paperwork. But I don't want anything to do with it now. I just, everything that I know and I see, I don't want to be a part of it. All right, what do we got here? We didn't just get betrayed. Let's see here. Let's see what Tucker's saying.
So the video you're about to watch was just shared by my good buddy JJ Carroll, and he says, after all the name calling, tell me one thing Tucker said that is not 100% true. He's saying what we're all thinking. Check this out.
Republican Party completely betrayed its voters by obsessing over Israel. That's just a fact. Like, what is this? It's a country of 9 million people. It's 9 million people, no resources, no value at all. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, like, we're a country of 350 million people. We're the most important country in the world. And practically every member of Congress spends all day talking about Israel. What the hell is this? Trump is elected. Who's the first person to visit? Bibi. Then he comes again. Then he comes again. And it's like the energy of the administration and of the entire U.S. government is all of a sudden about Iran. A war with Iran? Really?
Obviously, we'd like to see a regime change. At least I would. In Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq.
How many people do you know who've been killed by Iran in the United States in your lifetime? 0, because that's the number. How many people do you know who've died of a drug OD? Some. Maybe you have a nephew who did. I'm mad at our leaders for spending their time and my money focusing on someone else's country.
And it wasn't just the trade. We got stabbed in the back. You know, Bonnie Rice, she's one of the world's leading experts in government-funded child trafficking and CPS's kidnapping empire. And I got into it with her one day because she says, I guarantee you, Ryan, President Trump's not coming in to save those missing children. They're going to sweep it up. They're going to cover it up. And it's going to be business as usual. And she goes, I can say that with 100% certainty because that's what happened under every single administration. I said, listen, Bonnie, there is no way that Trump's coming in and he's not going to save those 350,000 missing migrant children. Like, he campaigned on it. He said most of them were dead. I'm like, there's no way. And then here we are. Pam Bondi comes in her first month in office. She drops the lawsuit into Southwest Key Programs because Southwest Key Programs got so bad and we exposed them so much that even Merrick Garland had to file a lawsuit because so many migrant children were getting raped inside the facility, being funded with our tax dollars by the employees. And Pam Bondi comes in and drops that lawsuit so that Southwest Key Programs can do some type of dynamic name change. And here we are, I'm getting text message that the migrant children, the UACs, are still being trafficked and moved all across our country. So Trump was supposed to be like the greatest president. He was supposed to be the #1 fighting child trafficking. And here he is standing back while his entire administration is trafficking children home and return to their families by now.
So I don't know if this is true or not, but if there's any truth to that, Joe Della, good morning, good to see you. Didn't they just cancel Tucker over the? Yeah, they tried to. I don't think you can cancel people anymore, though. We're not buying it, you know. And if you're truly an independent, you can't be canceled. You know, I guess it depends on who he works for, and I think he does work for somebody, but I don't know. Tucker's an interesting guy. It kind of depends on the issue. But if we really are having these kids trafficked around our country, and then you think about the people that are doing it and they really are being violated like that, I mean, it's hard to even process, you know, what, and no wonder all of this shit's happening because this is how they do it. You know, they'll go to war. They'll kill people in the country. They'll start riots. They'll do whatever they have to do to distract us so they can continue with their satanic pedophilic death cult. And that's exactly what it is. Systematic rape of kids, of migrant children. And that's what they're doing. Yeah, and he's right. Trump ain't done shit. He isn't doing nothing. He's bringing in this sicko who, you know, Benjamin Netanyahu, who loves to kill people. That's what he does, is kill women and children. He bombs the shit out of them. So yeah, there's no saving anybody. Nobody's getting saved. I'm getting confused with Tucker and Candace. Don't know what to believe. Well, I'll tell you, everybody's got their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I don't follow Tucker very much. I don't have time to follow everybody. I do follow Candace, and you know, it really kind of depends on the issue. I think she was spot on about Brigitte Macron having a dick and not being a woman. I mean, for one thing, she definitely exposed the fact that Brigitte is a pedophile, because even if you believe she is a woman, she was 39 years old as a school teacher when Emmanuel, the president of France, was 14 as a student. So, man or woman, if you're 39 years old and you fall in love with your 14-year-old student, you are a fucking pedophile. So there's that. And then the Charlie Kirk thing, I think she's spot on with the whole thing. I know that they're fucking lying to us. I mean, if anybody does that, if anybody believes that a 30-06 is just going to poke a hole in your neck and squirt out blood like that, I mean, you just don't know guns. It's not possible. There's no such thing as a magic bullet with a 30-06 like that. Not for a human neck. Maybe for an elk that ain't coming out the other side somehow, but not for a neck like that. So it's you know, those podcasters say what they say. They make a lot of money to say what they say. So you just got to kind of, I mean, even Alex Jones, you know, you can't. You gotta really be able to read through the lines, you know, because they all have sponsorships. endorsements and stuff like that. You know, they all have their own agendas. So it's hard to get the truth these days, guys. It really is. Aren't all these super popular people coming in with some sort of agenda? Yeah, no, 100%, Donna. That's the thing. When you listen to any of these people, you know, nobody is on there going, you know, unless you're like me, because then you're just not getting paid. You know, if you want to spend a couple hours a day and not get paid to talk the news, then you could believe them, you know, because, you know, like I'm not smart enough to know most of this shit anyways, but I'm definitely, you know, and everybody knows my agenda because I talk openly about, it's not my agenda, my ideology, my beliefs. But these people, yeah, some of them are just stone cold liars. That's a fact. So I'd ride with Candace over Tucker and 100%, Coach Rain. Me too. The one about Brigitte Macron was obvious, and Macron is, yeah, that whole thing is fucking weird, man. Yeah, no, yeah, it's like, show us a picture. The neck is very soft area. Yeah, it's disturbing the deviance of people in power. Yeah, it is. It is absolutely horrifying. You know, and it's hard to know what the truth is these days. I mean, they can literally, I mean, it's crazy town. It is literally crazy town because you will sound crazy. I will sound crazy trying to tell you what I truly believe is going on and some of the things that I think I've seen, like with and the only reason I really got my brain to think this is because at first I thought I was crazy. I was seeing things. I didn't even talk about it, but I heard other people talk about it. Was the Charlie Kirk video, the first one that I ever seen? My buddy sent me a link, said, "Hey, did you know that Charlie Kirk got shot?" I'm like, "No." He sent me a link, and the gunshot, I see like a gunshot wound open up in his shirt, and you can see black underneath the t-shirt. And that's why people were saying that he had a bulletproof vest on. That was the video that I seen. Well, then I get another link, and it's the one of the neck. And man, that one really fucking caught me off guard, like did everybody else, you know. Well, then, you know, time goes on, and then I never seen that video again. And I have started. Then the thought crosses my mind. Well, what about that video you seen where the bullet opened up his shirt? When I go back to watch it, it's not the same video. It's like they somehow took that video and edited it on my phone. And there's a lot of people that say that happened, that recorded footage at UVU that day, and that it's either was just flat out deleted on their phone or somehow edited. So I'm not saying that that's what happened, because maybe my mind was just playing tricks on me that day, but I don't think it was. But who knows what's possible? I mean, the other day I was live on my GoPro driving on the waterfront, and some of you guys are probably on there, and I drove by an accident, and my live stream shut off. So, you know, they have the ability to kill live streams and do stuff like that for sure, but can they actually go in and edit a video on a phone? I think they probably can. I don't know. All you need is a little common sense and do some research to find some truth. Yeah. For some of the stuff, yeah, you know, and then some of the stuff, it's like, well, you know, everybody's lying. Like, you think about Charlie Kirk, like that, the amount of people that are in on that is staggering. You know, everybody that's surrounded in that has military backgrounds, and then everybody that, like the judge, the lawyers, they're all brand new. All the investigators they brought in were brand new. It's just very, very bizarre. It's happened on your phone too. Do you believe Charlie's marriage was arranged at Bohemian Grove? Well, I've never heard that, but Evidence and the facts don't lie. I mean, not to offend anybody, you know, like I don't know how people feel about Erica Kirk, but I think she's just a stone cold liar. She is the devil. She's the second coming of Tammy Faye Baker. You know, you can't get any more of evangelical and Satan at the same time as that bitch. From rubbing Charlie Kirk's mannequin hands after he's dead to her gaudy Freemason rings, you know, and her family's military background. The more you look into Erica Kirk, the creepier that shit gets, man. And I never believed one word she said or one movement she did from day one. She is definitely knew that he was going to get killed. 100. She knew 100%. So that's my take on Erica Kirk, you know, and I know that it's probably going to upset people, but that's just my own opinion. I don't know what to believe anymore. So much compelling evidence in so many directions, all by design. Yep. No, that is true. That's part of it too. You know, there's misinformation and disinformation and too much information and inundation. You know, I always say that it's okay to be informed, but it's not okay to be inundated. You know, you can be informed, but not obsess, because obsession on this kind of stuff is it's just fool's gold, because there is no truth. The truth is in your personal life. The truth is in your family. You know what I mean? There is no truth in government. It does not exist. Excuse my ignorance. Why would they want Charlie Kirk dead? Well, it's a good question, Joe Della. I don't know the whole scope of it, but basically I think that he had a bunch of Jewish donors, and he had recently, before he was killed, spoken out and was ready to just turn his back on Israel. He had said on the PBD podcast that he believes that there was a stand down order and that Israel allowed this to happen. They wanted it to happen so that they could go in and live stream a genocide. And so they tried to reel him in. He wasn't having it. And so they executed him, assassinated him. I mean, that's the crux of it. There's probably a lot more to it than that, but I think that's really what it comes down to. If you watch the channel I told you about, you'll hear it. Okay. With Erica Kirk, her behavior after she just lost her husband was very bizarre. Very bizarre. And then, you know, the zip line in Vegas in her country music video where she passes by 9/10, the date that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. The fact that she became Miss Arizona in 2012, and she obviously knew she was going to win before they announced it. I mean, the list goes on. She's very, very, she is the definition of a plant and a honeypot. She was stepping out of line, or he was stepping out of line and not sticking to the plan. Some say Erica was his wife and handler, 100%. You know, and they made a lot of money. I think they made $90 million for the 30 days after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. They raised $90 million bucks. But I thought he was friends with Donald Trump. Yeah, well, that's another thing too, and that's the thing that Candace has a problem with. Joe Della is, you know, they basically turned their back on that whole thing, you know, and I don't know. I don't know too much about all that. Check out the channel I dropped before you could find a theory answer to that question. Okay. The plan outlives Donald Trump, so it goes much deeper than that. Yeah, that is true. Donna, your promo is up, says Bambi. All right, what else do we got?
And fuck Donald Trump. I'm in Walmart and fuck Donald Trump. Okay, look at the goddamn prices of fucking chips. Yeah, Trump did that. And you guys were bitching about the eggs. I'm standing in the aisle in Walmart and I don't care who the fuck hears me. You know, I mean, they bitched and moaned about the goddamn eggs and here we are. We can't afford food. So, you know, fuck around and find out. It's not like we didn't tell you. Bitch about the eggs, but don't say anything now. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Say hey, all your fans. Woo! Fuck Donald Trump, right? No kings. That's right. See, I'll talk to anybody in the store. I'm in Walmart and fuck Donald Trump. Okay, look at the goddamn prices of fucking chips.
Chips.
Yeah, Trump did that. And
Oh, you know, I think if you only eat potato chips for a living, that's what you'll look like. I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. She's probably right. I was at the grocery store the other day getting some coffee. It was right when it opened up out of Fred Meyer. And it was one of the rare times that I didn't see any fucking Instacarts and pallets in the fucking aisleways. And I just had like a clear, clean view of the aisles. And I couldn't help but just to think like, oh my God, it's nothing but shit. It's all just a bunch of shit in those aisles. No wonder our country is falling apart. We're just being poisoned to death. Nothing good in those aisles. Magooch, yep, it's the potato chips, man. Fuck Donald Trump. I need my chips. Well, I mean, yeah, no, I used to eat Doritos and stuff, you know, when I was like in my 20s. And I used to get them for like $2, like 2 for $4. And now they're probably like fucking $10 a bag. I mean, you got to be crazy. You know, and Doritos, I don't think it gets any more poisonous than a Dorito. I think that's ground zero for fucking poison. If you were worried about chip prices, you're an idiot. Yeah. Can't argue that one. I did Joe doing more work on it today. Chips, you mean garbage? Yeah, exactly. There's mostly air in the bag, you more. Well, more air in the bag or up in, you know, between her ears. Let's see here. What else do we got? So, lady.
you guys were bitching about the eggs. I'm standing in the aisle in Walmart and I don't care who the fuck.
Well, eggs are straight protein, you know, and I think we basically can't live without eggs, you know, or it's one of the main things we need, right? For protein and stuff. We use eggs in everything. You could literally, and actually, if we took a vote right now, like if we could vote to replace chips forever, maybe you leave like 1 or 2 options, like 2 bags of chips in the grocery store, get rid of all the rest of the chips and replace it with healthy shit. I'd do it in a second. Fuck those chips. Anyway. I just bought Doritos Friday for the first time in a while for my daughter's birthday party. They were on sale for 3 for $10. See, that's not bad. I mean, and yeah, I mean, isn't that for a party or something like that? Yeah, of course. I would do the same thing, you know. And my granddaughter's got me wrapped around her finger, you know, so bad that if she wanted some Doritos, I'd buy them for her. You know, when you're a kid, your bodies are resilient. You know, you fucking eat anything you want when you're fucking 3 years old, 6, well, maybe not 3, but, you know, 6 years old, 10 years old, whatever. Just brush your teeth. Eggs are good for you. Yeah, love eggs. All right, so quit freaking out. Get out of the fucking chip aisle, lady. Get out of Leave the Nutter Butters and the Doritos and the Oreos alone, okay? I buy more Oreo cookies than anybody. I buy Oreo cookies by the bags, but I use them for my business. I use dark chocolate Oreos to roll my strawberries in, and the golden Oreo cookies to make my strawberry crunch to roll my strawberries in. So I go through a lot of Oreos, and they're not cheap. And they're not even, they're poison. You eat the cream, the center of a Oreo cookie, man, you just feel like you want to, it's weird. Your eyes will roll back. Let's see here. What else we got? Here we go.
Matt Walsh is a fucking pussy. What he's trying to do is get the audience to think that I'm a 70 IQ communist third worldist. If I'm so retarded, Matt Walsh, then ask your dad to debate me. Call up Ben Shapiro and say, please, daddy, can I debate the guy that I'm so angry at? And you know what happened? He probably did. And he said, no, nah, hung up the phone. Or he's just a fucking pussy and realizes he knows he's on the wrong side of history. He cannot defend his points. So he's going to continue to say that, oh, I'm Haitian and I'm a communist and I'm a terrorist and I'm an Islamist. Nobody believes this fucking bullshit anymore. People are tired of it. Matt Walsh, shut the fuck up or just debate. Stop tweeting at me. You're wasting everyone's time. Just like your boss, Ben Shapiro, is wasting away eating at this country. Shut the fuck up or debate. If I'm retarded, you would be able to debate me. If a retard that I disagreed with said, hey, debate me, I would debate him because it's a retard. It's a 70 IQ retard. Now,
I don't know who this Sneeko guy is, but I'm becoming a fan because he's right. Matt Walsh, you can shut the fuck up or debate him. How about that? Quit tweeting at people. The days are gone where, that's one of the biggest, I've always known, and it's made a little bit better now that with X and stuff like that, we have a little bit more direct connect. But I've always fucking hated the fact that I call them the one-way street people. The news is one-way street. There's no fucking talking back to the news when they lie to us. And now you kind of can, like when they post shit on Facebook, type of thing. But they just put fucking lies out there and then we fucking eat their shit, But those days are gone and I fucking love this. I don't know who this Sneeko guy is. I think he's like a rapper or somebody. But good for him. We need these young guys to fucking step up and to have that young kid energy and fucking, I love to see it. I support it. So, cause I don't even know who Matt Walsh is. I kind of do, but I know who Ben Shapiro is. And these are the people. Yeah. Ben Shapiro is like, he's such a gaslighter. He's so bad for our country, and he was one of the first people to come out when Charlie Kirk got shot. Oh, I'll pick up his blood-stained microphone and carry on the cause. Nobody wants to hear you talk, Ben. The worst things you can buy for your health are food with processed oils. Yes, the seed oils are the worst. So much so that I drink so much coffee, and I need another cup right now, that I think I already told you guys this a million times, but I make my own coffee creamer now. And I've been doing it for a few months now. And I use an organic almond milk that only has sea salt, almonds, and water. Those are the 3 ingredients in it. And then coconut milk. And then I add like a little cinnamon and nutmeg and vanilla. That's it. I was putting in Monco fruit as a little sweetener. I don't need any sweetener. Although I do use like a little white chocolate powder that I have once in a while in my coffee. And because I drink so much coffee, because I didn't know this up until a few months ago, how much seed oil is in coffee creamer. It's 90% fucking seed oil. So I feel so much better. Now that I make my own coffee creamer. $100. This guy watches Andrew Tate. Yeah, they're probably friends, Coach Rain. Your kid watches him, Sneeko. Yeah, I was just I like his energy. I like the way he's well spoken, and I don't know. I have to do a little bit more research. I seen another video of him, so I have a feeling we'll see a lot more of this Sneeko guy. You know, maybe he's an up and coming political guy or something. I don't know him, but going to look into that. Yeah, same. We need more awareness of people calling these things out. Absolutely. Osada, I do too. Right on. I do this a lot. Donna's doing it on here. Oh, you must be talking about the creamer, because I always forget when somebody says something like that, they're referencing something I just talked about 2 seconds ago. I forget what I was talking about. So forgive me, but I think you were talking about the creamer. That's awesome if you do. If more people watched independent media, things would be much more different. 100%, Coach Train. You know, and I always say this. I think it's the baby boomers. You know, it's the last oldest generation that watches CNN and Fox News. They don't want to believe anything else. You know, once we get past that threshold, and then it's us. You know, as the old people, things will change. Definitely, because our generation is going to be the greatest generation of old people of all time. We're not fucking putting up with shit. We're not putting up with shit. We've seen it all. We've been through it all. We've been through all the fucking drug epidemics and the pandemics and the bullshit and the fucking shutdowns. And just like Sneeko said, shut the fuck up and yeah, don't tell me not to wear a mask. Don't tell me to wear a mask. Don't tell me to get a vaccine. I don't want Muslims running my country. I don't want Indians in here fucking taking over our country. I mean, just normal shit. Normal, you know, borders, boundaries, and decent prices, and an industry that Americans can work in. I've been drinking it black lately. Okay. See, I could never do that. Never. To me, that's like, I don't even know what it means, but the word sacrilegious, it's like a sin to drink coffee black, in my opinion. I don't know why, I just can't do it. And I never thought I could drink coffee without sugar. I used to just put like a spoonful of sugar in there with the creamer, you know? And I would do it so much to where I would want to see a little bit of sugar left over in the bottom, man. And I would scoop out that sugar and eat it. That's how bad I was. God damn. I quit doing that years ago. But, and you know what's funny is I did buy a coffee creamer yesterday, just because I was at that country market, and it was like a limited edition. It was caramel apple pie creamer from the same company that I buy my organic almond milk from. Disgusting. Not a fan. Coach Rain, I agree. The MSM is mostly propaganda, big time. Yes, the creamer. Okay, right on. Yeah, no, I love making my own creamer. You know, the coconut cream or coconut milk and almond milk together. Those two. That's a great base right there. Then you just add in whatever you want. I don't know if that's how you do it, Donna, but yeah, I save so much more money that way too, you know, than buying those, because I used to go through creamer all the time, and now because you just buy one big thing of almond milk, and I buy a bunch of cans of the coconut milk. Easy peasy. I really believe there's going to be a big problem in New York with the new mayor. I told my daughter last night, my son-in-law, I don't want to hear any talk about going into the city Christmas tree. Oh, yeah, right. Christmas is canceled in New York this year. It happens especially when you smoke your breakfast. Yeah, no, you ain't wrong, Coach Train, about that. I watch zero news channels now. It's all talking points. and agendas, no truth. So true, CG2. That is exactly what it is. And pharmaceutical commercials. You know, it's just the worst of the worst, the networks, and they've lost it. Nobody watches it anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody, like the Jimmy Kimmel thing. You know, the most notoriety he ever got, ever, was him just being a fucking shit stain about Charlie Kirk. I don't even remember what he said now. I don't remember if it was Charlie Kirk or Trump or what. I mean, he's such a nobody. And I love to see it. You know, nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares, Jimmy. Just go away. Or stay on the network. Do whatever you want to do, buddy. Stay on the network. Get a YouTube channel. Do whatever you want to do. Nobody cares. We don't care about your ass. I haven't turned my TV on and right on. Yeah, you know, it's I have a TV, but I don't have cable. I haven't had cable in years. Just the internet. You can't be an espresso in the morning. Yeah, you're right about that, Joe. You know, that is I am going to get an espresso machine one day. That is one of my dreams. And it's not like they're super expensive. The one I want to get's like probably like, I think it's like $400 to $600. Fuck, the Breville. Yeah, when you go on Amazon, you get the Breville. And it's got it's basically like the base model for the fancy. My buddy's brother in Arizona's got one called what the fuck is it called? The Yura 8. It's a $3,000 coffee machine. It's badass. It's fucking cool. But yeah, I know you're right. Nothing like an espresso. There's a Japanese coffee pot I want to get too. It's like a little vacuum. It's $200. I just seen it online. I'm thinking about trying that. I just use a Keurig and then I just buy my own coffee and use the little reusable cups. And, sometimes I grind my own bean and sometimes I just buy it already ground up. Right now I'm grinding my own bean. I'm drinking some stuff I almost said I'm smoking some stuff. I'm smoking some stuff called Raw Tata right now. But I'm drinking Bitches Brew. So my normal coffee company, they don't supply it at the grocery store anymore. I don't know why. In fact, I'm probably going to email them today or Monday and find out what the fuck. With the shot of Sambuca. Oh, God. That just gave me a stomachache. Now you're talking. Coconut milk is the best. That's what I always get from my, like if I do buy a coffee, you know, I'll get like a white chocolate iced mocha with coconut milk or hot with coconut milk. I love coconut milk. I mean, I'll do any of the milks, the alternative milks over regular milk. And every once in a while, I forget to tell them that. And then I realize it's regular milk. And I'm like, fuck it. I love coffee too much to worry about it. And I'll drink it anyway. So. You do organic whole milk with organic whipping cream. Okay. Oh, now you're talking. That's good too. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you know, that's always my go-to if I'm out of regular creamer. I don't think I've done it since I started making my own creamer because I always have it now. But when I was buying my creamer, yeah, if I ran out, it was you know, using a little bit of cream. And cream goes a long way. Holy shit. In a cup of coffee. You don't want to overdo it. Donna, you cannot be organic. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I use what's it called? Califia organic almond milk. I don't know if you guys have that, but if you look at the ingredients in almond milk, like Silk, there's seed oil in there. There's a lot of shit in there. But Califia almond milk, it's just sea salt, almonds, and water. So that's what I go with. And you can make your own at some of the stores. Joe, I eat all organic as much as possible. I only watch documentaries and sports on TV, nothing else. They're all nobodies, all of them. Yeah, they are. They all want notoriety. Donna, I only watch Netflix and some HBO and YouTube. I watch Netflix and YouTube more since it's getting cold. I go months otherwise not even turning. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their shows that they watch. You know, like I did sign up for Netflix a couple of times for Cobra Kai. Like I was so excited when that show first came out. The first season was awesome when it was on YouTube Red, and then they put it on Netflix. And so I bought Netflix specifically to watch Cobra Kai, and then they ruined it. They ruined it. That series went woke when they went on Netflix. So I quit doing it after like the third season, which is a shame because I love the Karate Kid. I use the reusable cups too. Yeah, that's the way to go for sure. I used to hold on to the reusables way too long, CG2, and then you can't shut the lid, and then the coffee grounds start pouring out the top. It was like, oh my goodness. So now I just buy the 4-pack of the reusables on Amazon, and once they start not shutting, the lid doesn't snap shut again, I just toss it. So, or they start to scale up, and you got to either descale them or I just toss it. And it makes my life so much easier. The little maca manchetta is cheap. Just put it in water and ground and let it boil. Simple and easy. Oh, macanetta. Let me look this up real quick. What happened to my keyboard? Okay. Well, thank you for that, Joe. I'll try it. Looks like a little cheaper way to go than the Breville. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try that. Thank you. Maybe I'll be drinking espresso before I know it. All right. What else do we got? Got anything else? We already did the cash to tail cover up. Oh, yeah. I think this is the last one. This is our last video. This is Kamala Harris's stepdaughter. And she says she is experiencing a lot of climate anxiety. Whatever that means.
I feel disgust at what's going on in the world around genocides, the loss of rights, the loss of health care, the just general fear that everyone has surrounding affordability, their lives, their livelihood, like everything. It feels so big. I think everything with the environment is really fucking getting to me. And it is I experience a lot of climate anxiety, like a lot of us do. It's not funny. It's just like, it's one of those things. It's not funny, but you just like nervous laugh about it because it's scary. It is. It's all of these things are happening, and like what besides the small things we can do in pushing for change and fighting and protesting, and it's really hard not to sit in those moments where it just feels so heavy.
Yeah, creepy people, man. He, she, what? Yeah. There's a lot of telling. There's a lot of tells in that video, about how those people think, about how they want control and they want to be able to change the way you think. Osada, you can buy them on Amazon. Use Lily ground coffee. I think it's a Lily. Is that how you say that? Lily? Is that Lil? Donna, it's the don't mispronounce their, yeah, don't misgender me. You've misgendered me. We played that yesterday, the Vera DeMilo video, because the dude got upset because why am I not allowed to go into the women's bathroom? Hi, I'm Vera DeMilo. Follow me with my workout. Donna, my pronouns are woof, woof, quack. Did you know that, right? Joe, can you write that again? Lily Coffee? Let me see if I can find this. Lily, what the fuck is happening to my keyboard? Lily Brown Coffee. Oh, Illy. I see it now. Illy Classic Roast, World Market. So this is an espresso. Okay. Illy Espresso Ground Coffee Dark. Target. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what is espresso? What makes espresso espresso? It's just like super fine ground regular coffee? Or
I feel disgust at what's going on in the world.
We know you do. We know you do. We know you feel disgust. I would feel disgust if Kamala Harris was my stepmom and knew that she was, Anyway. Illy. Okay, Illy from Italy. Thank you. Gold's Gym is going to regret that. Yeah, 100%, Coach Train. I am misgendering the shit out of all of them, yes. It's such a... Yeah, it's such just a fucking rapist move. It's such a fucking rapo fucking Candyman van fucking move. I want to go in the women's bathroom. People like that should be hung. You know what I mean? Like, if you are an adult man and, you want to make that argument, you should be hung. Not sympathized with. We should just hang you in public. That's my opinion. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. I can't not drink coffee any longer, so I need to go make some coffee. And no selling today, but I am going to make more cheesecakes. That's what I'll be doing. I have like 50 pie crusts already made, so I'm going to go fill those up with cheesecakes and berry pies and whatever else today. And then hopefully maybe go take my granddaughter out to lunch. Espresso is just a different brewing process resulting in more concentrated coffee, I think. I did an espresso class one time, and you have to it was a long time ago. You have to tamp the coffee with a little tamper, and then you put it in the fucking thing and you hit the thing. I don't know, guys. I do have a coffee grinder, but I'll have to go down a rabbit hole. But yeah, no, thanks for that, Joe Della. I'm gonna buy one of those, and they are perverted. Take care, everyone. Yes, thank you, Donna, for coming, hanging out. I don't know if you. Let me get on YouTube here real quick, because you probably don't have a wrench if you're just coming. Give you a wrench. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. And yep, you're wrenched up. All right, guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.